We don't follow trends, we own them. This is fusion, this is the mothership. Real you, real power, let's go. As our mothership alive, we rise in the night, built from the chains where others lost sight. As our microgrids pulsing, real yield and fly. My fusion is fire, the future's inside. As our mothership online, we rise in the night, built from the chains where others lost sight. As our microgrids pulsing, real yield and fly. My fusion is fire. This is real life. No JPEG promising, no clickbait clones. We own the code, the vault, the zones. Stack that yield, no Ponzi tones. Just smart contracts and bulletproof bones. NFTs that print, yeah, pass the pace. Fusion built it in silent days. Now we shine, no delays. Bomb flows hot like Dexy Blaze. Vol burns rising on plasma stats. eSHARE drops, yeah, we like that. Low supply, no inflation games. Microgrid earns, that's DeFi flames. There's a mothership online. We rise in the night. Built from the chains where others lost sight. I can make a grids pulsing, real yield and flight. The fusion is fire, the future's in sight. There's a mothership online. We rise in the night, built from the chains where others lost sight. I can make a grids pulsing, real yield and flight. The fusion is fire. This is real life. Remember the signs, we broke it loud, they laughed at DeFi, we built a crowd. No VCs, no ties, only freedom and yield that multiplies. Microgrid stacked like royalty rights, each one's income day and night. No click to earn, no empty spin, fusion plays the long-term win. Minted points, that's yesterday, now it's yield every time you stay. The bonds pay in pure reward, any share hits that scoreboard. From DexFi.com to the Plazm core, every transaction fuels us more. We earn, we rise, we own. Welcome aboard, welcome home. Was your mothership online? We rise in the night, love built from the chains where others lost sight. Was your microgrids pulsing, real yield and flight. The fusion is fire, the future's in sight. Was your mothership online? We rise in the night, love built from the chains where others lost sight. Was your microgrids pulsing, real yield and flight. The fusion is fire. This is real life.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official EMP live stream. We come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, and today is our 4-year anniversary Palooza. Man, I can't believe we've been here 4 years. So we're gonna get into all that. Before we do, please welcome my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. How are you?
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Happy 4th year anniversary, Emperors!
Let's go, no doubt. Again, happy birthday to all the emperors that have been with us from day one and continue to be here regardless of the market. So we'll talk about that next, but please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us get the word out. And as a special anniversary celebration, we have a brand new background as well. So hopefully you guys like that as we celebrate another year in crypto. So I mean, again, this is going to be a fun stream. So I'm going to keep the energy high and the good vibes going as we always do. Um, Obviously, the markets are pretty abysmal right now. And, all I can really say to that is, I still consider myself a permabull and, getting on here every week for 4 years now, sometimes every day for 4 years. It really is kind of a perspective shift where I think, crypto really started as this amazing technology, the decentralized ledger, fully transparent on chain, and all crypto users say that they're here for the tech, but in reality, they treat crypto as a casino. And so early on, I think there was a lot of tech believers, and what drew us here and made this, allowing us to take financial freedom and financial independence from things in the world that aren't transparent and controlled by people that should arguably not be controlling. And now we're seeing the shift going back. So I think, and that's what I get excited about. I think all the high leverage moon boys, for lack of a better word, that were only here to speculate on memes and really taint the crypto industry. They're gone. They're leaving. I mean, sentiment is at all-time low. Every group I'm in, other than our EMP chats, people are just fed up. They're leaving. They're going back to work. All of the above. So, for me, again, that's always been a sign of the bottom, being in 3 cycles now. And even if you, again, I've said it many times, I don't believe in the 4-year cycle anymore. However, if enough people believe that something is true, it becomes true. And so I think that's really what we're seeing with the 4-year cycle. People selling, hoping to buy back lower, and here we are. And that doesn't even account for all the existential, macro factors as well. So again, it's just become a perfect storm. But that being said, I know we've said it many, many times, and obviously, I've never claimed to be able to call the top or the bottom, but I really can't imagine that we go much lower. I think the worst case scenario is still the 200-day moving average, which puts ETH at about 1,500 and Bitcoin at about 58K. If we break down below that for more than a day, I would be really concerned. And so again, this isn't to obviously today's a celebration, and really I just want to highlight all that because we have done things different, and we're going to talk a lot about bonds today, for sure. But all the protocols that are under the EMP umbrella now, they have now incorporated real yield and things that don't rely on the bull or bear cycles. It's real yield. Obviously, crypto still has to be relevant and a thing. But even in a bear market, we had one of the largest payouts of all time in bonds this week. So again, shout out to all of you that do see what we're doing and are excited for it, and those that want to be done with crypto. I can't say that I blame you, but these are the times where real wealth is created when everybody is scared. So, LA, I don't know if you want to add to that again. I don't want to start the show melancholy, but I think it was just kind of important to frame it on what we're seeing. So,
Yeah, I think that this is a time to completely reframe your mind. My only desire is that I had like a spare $10,000 lying around to stack up right now
for sure.
because I remember how excited I was to stack up on ETH when it was at $2,000. This was ages ago, but I never thought I would see it below that again, quite honestly. And there's a lot of good deals out there, not only with the major tokens, but also with eShare, with microgrids. Like there's so many really good opportunities around right now if you have any spare liquid funds,
For sure.
right? So um, this is the time of crypto when millionaires are made because if they do have spare funds and they're stacking up when things are down, I mean, God, I only want to see where that'll go one day.
Yep.
But
For
yeah,
sure.
I don't think it's something to sit around and just focus on the negative. I think those that are in the know will do whatever they can to spin it into a positive and get majorly ahead in the future by taking action in this time right now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, LA. And again, I mean, specifically with our protocols, there are measurable returns. I mean, again, Fusion is still kind of in ramp up mode, but bonds and Plasm and a lot of things that we're building and have built are producing. So yeah, I think you're right. I mean, if you got to take a part-time job or do a side hustle, again, crypto is rarely ever meant to replace your living unless you're building or have a way to live off your investments. But and I think unfortunately, again, people came into the space hoping for that, and now it's time to kind of adjust that refocus into really being here for the right reasons and getting involved in projects that do have the infrastructure now. And again, I mean, even EMP as a whole, we've grown a lot over these 4 years. So, again, no other, very few other protocols can say they've lasted this long. Um, Showing up every day, continue to build. I'm the first to say that we may not have gotten it right every time, but we have never left anybody behind. We've never rugged. We show up, we continue to build, and now again, the takeaway from today overall in the 4 year anniversary is we're primed. I mean, if I could go back in time and we have everything that we have right now, 4 years ago, we would be a top 100 crypto project. And so in 4 years from now, that is very, very achievable because we have the real yield, we have the community, we have everything in place now. No Ponzonomics, no inflation. Again, everything that we learned from the Tomb Fork days up until now is awesome, and we're focusing on what's working. Again, in terms of building and development and support, we are focused on parts of the protocol that are producing the most for everybody. And so that is what I get excited about. And one last point I want to make, I've made this point a few times. You know, no matter how bullish or bearish you get with crypto overall, you simply just can't argue with the fact that AI is the next, evolutionary shift in humankind, and AI is not going to be transacting in cash or fiat or paper money. AI will be using crypto and on digital on ramps to do that, and so that's another thing that kind of again is the silver lining or the light at the end of the tunnel is even if you think there's high manipulation and institutions are now controlling things. You just got to take solace in the fact that there could be so much more volume, and we're even seeing it now with OpenClaw. A lot of you may have already seen that real agentic AI is happening, and so that is one of the reasons why bonds have been doing so well, which we're getting to. Having exposure to banker, these agents are interacting with each other and utilizing their crypto wallets. So again, it sounds like science fiction, but it is legit what's happening, and I think that will also be really exciting. Not to mention, on chain, tokenization of stocks, RWAs, all that's coming onto on chain and allowing traditional financial markets to trade 24/7. So the more volume usually ends up equaling a higher price. So all right, that was all my points. Elliot, anything else you want to add before we get into all of our updates?
No, I think we can move on.
All right. So, uh, again, 4 year anniversary, it's been really just incredible. Our key to success has always been to kind of pivot when we needed, and this amazing community. And I think, again, we truly have built basically a family here. And a lot of you that have stuck around, even now in the depths of a bear market, where nobody is excited about crypto, there's 41 people on the stream today. So that is again proof that you all of you are still locked in, and do see you know the real infrastructure that we're building here, and that really means a lot. And again, I think a lot of you even though with the FUD and the uncertainty, the vast majority of you know what we're building and know what this protocol will become. All the protocols again, you know, the mothership. So I think we're alive, we're kicking. We just got to continue building, and we will get where we want to be. The time frame might be a little more extended than we had hoped for, but I'm still more than confident that we'll get there. And a lot of that has to do, again, with the real yield that we built. So we'll get into that in a minute. Anything in terms of the anniversary you want to add, LA? I think we covered
Yeah.
it. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just want all of you to know how much AJI and the team value each and every single one of you who have stuck around for these 4 years, or whether you came in anywhere along the way. I know it hasn't always been easy to keep the morale high, to keep the hope high, and there's been a lot of pivots along the way. But we've always kept the community first in mind. And I think that's the reason that we're still here, because, no matter how things have gone up and down, we've always done everything we could to support the community and make sure we keep this going for everyone. And so we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep building, keep innovating, and keep growing with the community first in mind, to make sure that we do all end up not only where we've all wanted to be, but far beyond it. We still have big, huge goals and vision 4 years in, and it's only growing and evolving. So thank you to each and every one of you who have been a part of this. We absolutely couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, LA. I've said that the most valuable asset of all of our protocols is our community, and that just it does ring true. If it wasn't for all of you that did still support and know that we're trying our hardest, we would have been able to we wouldn't have been able to survive. So that is huge. I echo everything LA said to the millionth degree. And yeah, I mean, just to give a little more perspective, I mean. Personally speaking, we started EMP, 4 years ago, thinking and knowing that we could do a better job than 99% of other cryptos, and that has held true. But what has been insane is this hero's journey that LA likes to reference. But running a crypto project is probably one of the hardest things you can do on planet Earth. And the fact that again the majority of you have understood that and supported us along the way has really meant a lot. And again, our commitment is that we will never give up. We always try to find a way to make things right, even if some things are out of our control. And that will never change. So again, much love to all of you. And here's to another 4 years and beyond. And what we have now is true, legacy, meaning, if something happens to me or LA or anybody, the protocols will function as intended, and that's exciting, for everybody. So again, I think we're future proof now in terms of our setup, and again, just focusing on real yield. The only nail in the coffin from here on out would be if crypto just is not a thing, and I don't think that's likely at all. So, all right, let's jump on over to Fusion. Ella, you want to go over some bullet points while I pull it up here? Okay.
So right now is kind of a golden opportunity inside Fusion, as we were kind of alluding to earlier, because with the market down, obviously, you know what, we're in a period where a lot of people are in a fear zone, and there's some great deals on microgrids. Unfortunately, the deals that I saw earlier while I was typing up the notes have already been snatched up. A lot of the 4-cent microgrids, and there was even a 3-cent microgrid. There's one more 4-cent microgrid up there. But needless to say, there's some incredible deals both on microgrids and on eSHARE right now. Obviously, eSHARE is paired with ETH, and ETH is down by 35%. So eSHARE price is majorly down as a reflection of that. But now is a great time to scoop it up, because at least I believe the market will go back up in the direction we want it to. Nobody knows exactly when, but I'm certainly going to be scooping up as much as possible to build up my ownership inside Fusion and to scoop up as much eShare as possible. But Fusion is still operating exactly as intended. It is paying out every single day. And those who use times like this to build up your ownership are the ones who will truly win. Obviously, none of this is financial advice, but it's right there in front of you.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. Great points. And yeah, just we'll expand on that a little bit. We have seen a lot of volume on the secondary market this week. There were a few, 3-cent microgrids. I know I gave the community the first opportunity, but the Treasury scooped up a bunch this week. And again, we don't ever announce when we're going to do it. We just kind of look for the right opportunities, and those were then added to the treasury, so it increases the ownership for everybody else. So that's exciting. Again, I think people are getting patient, and I get it. I mean, it's not self shaming. It's not you know any kind of public humiliation. If you are not in a place where you can participate in crypto anymore and you have to leave, then you do you. So, but that being said, the people that take advantage now are the ones that will win the most. And I made an analogy in one of our chats earlier this week. And this isn't. Whenever I hear people comparing, crypto projects to, top 10 real world businesses, it is a little cringeworthy. But I think that it's a good illustration of the potential. And so with Fusion, we are essentially in a pre-IPO offering stage where we have everything in place. All the microgrids are here. We have a set number of stock, so to speak, and we're pre-revenue. And so again, there is money paying out. Obviously, we hope the APR goes higher, and those that do have positions are earning even now. But that being said, people, there's this chicken and the egg or expectation that as long as rewards are high, then the floor price of microgrids will be high, and that is true to a certain extent. And what the analogy is essentially, think of Apple, where it was Steve Jobs in his garage selling personal computers, and they were making money, but they were not a company that was on anybody's radar. And as soon as they were able to release the iPod, it changed the future forever. So that's not saying that Fusion is compared to Apple, but just to kind of illustrate what I'm saying is once the revenue streams really start kicking in, the yield will skyrocket, and by then you will never be able to buy a microgrid for 4 cents. So it is this risk to reward ratio of buying early, getting your position, not really focusing on the price and just more focusing on the eShare that it produces every single day. Because again, our payouts are in eShare, and to LA's point, this is a historical low for eShare. So the APR could triple or even 10x with a really small move in eShare. So all those things I hope kind of frame it a little bit better for people that just want to say, well, I'm not earning anything and I don't want to participate. So all the revenue streams moving forward will feed Fusion, and a big one of those is bonds, and we'll talk about that in a minute in terms of the debt and the splits. But the numbers that we've done with bonds in the last week will literally be thousands of dollars a day going into Fusion rewards when things are the debt's paid off and we're back to normal on yields. So all right, let me just one more thing I want to pull up. Ellie, anything you want to add to what I said, or I just want to pull up the eShare chart real quick.
No, go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Okay, so just like Ellie was saying, so it has been, a pretty historical low. Anytime, the all-time low was about $5, but anytime we're in the 5 to 6 range, has been a great time to accumulate. And, you know, again, the majority of this, downturn is just because we are paired with Ethereum. So, we used to say it a lot, but we gotta go over it more, I guess. Um, remember that doesn't necessarily mean that people are selling eShare. It just means that the overall dollar value is going down. And this is a perfect example. There's been $7,000 of buying pressure today, as opposed to 2,000 selling, and we're still down, 7% on the 24 hours. So
Yeah,
the
the proof
only
is in the
reason
pudding right there.
Exactly. The only
Mhm.
reason that we're down is because ETH, just is taking an absolute beating. And, the supply of eShare, here you go, total supply, is only 60,000. So, again, you can come here and look at all the on-chain stats, which puts a market cap of only 400K. It's just so undervalued, right now. Again, not financial advice, but this just shows a real complete picture of where we're at. And again, I'm never gonna come on the stream and call a bottom, because we just never know. But I will say that in all assets that we have exposure to, including our own, we have to be closer to a bottom than a top. So, all right,
AJ,
you got
I don't want to put you
yeah,
on the spot here because I'm not sure if you'll know off the top of your head, but do you have
for
any
sure.
current idea of what percentage of the overall supply has now been burned?
Yeah, so I would have to look on the Dex screener. It may take me a minute. So yeah, I would say again, um, yeah, I don't LA. I'd say at least probably, you know, I don't 10% or more. I know again the numbers are a little different because when we merged from BSC, all that was burned was actually removed from the total supply. So
Yes.
even though there was a lot more burned at that time, I think at one point it was like 30%. All that's now been consolidated. So uh, but yeah, I'll get those numbers for next week. But the short answer is, even if there was none burned, which there's quite a bit burned, the fact that we're only at a 60,000 total token supply, and a lot of that's in the LP, that means that the circulating supply is really, really low. So I don't know if it'll show. Yeah, it doesn't show me any the breakdown of LPs. But so yeah, I mean, again, I'd say, oh, here we go. Yeah, we do have it. So yeah, I mean, again, almost 5% of the whole supply is in LPs. So again, the circulating supply is really, really low, and that just means that when uh, you know cash flow comes in, whether it's through Plasm or just rewards, buying that eShare before we distribute it, it can push the price up really quick, with low liquidity and uh, low supply. So,
Exciting
all right,
stuff.
awesome, yeah, totally. So, all right, what is next on the list? Again, if you go over the bullet points, I'll pull it up on the screen.
Yeah, let's chat about Plasm.
All right, here we go.
And AJ, am I correct in saying this that we've now completed 2 full 77-day cycles inside Plasm?
We have, yeah, no doubt. So we're on about day 140 now, I think.
Exciting.
So yeah, yeah, that's two full cycles, or maybe just what shy of two full cycles, but yeah, it's getting close. And uh, most people that were in, depending on when you got in, you've experienced that, and the supply coming out is a lot less now too, which we'll go over. So yeah, go ahead, Ellie. I didn't want to interrupt you. And then I'll pull up the site. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very exciting. And we've been saying this all along, but the key differentiator inside Plasm, compared to the other protocols that are like this one, is that there's still um, there's still over 10K USDC that's available to be burned.
Yes,
There's
totally.
over $300,000 worth of value invested in the bonds right now. That's part of the Plasm treasury that's generating these rewards, and that's with the market incredibly down. And so that treasury doesn't get used to supply rewards. It's all the yield from the treasury. And if you look at the bonds page right now, one thing we'll go over this more when we have bonds up, but there's a daily compound amount that it shows you. And so I love that that treasury from Plasm that's invested in the bonds is not only providing rewards, but it's also being compounded. And also on a daily basis, there's more and more available to burn. And so it's such a powerful protocol, and it is going to go so far beyond one or two cycles. And I think people are really realizing that now.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. Again, yeah, so just to highlight what you were saying, there's a few things I want to go over. And then if I miss anything, feel free to interrupt me. But, we've seen Plasm really start to bottom out. I showed the chart a minute ago. We've been in this range, sideways range, for about, almost a month now. Obviously, over the last 2 weeks, we've had a little bit of a lower low, but overall, it's been pretty much sideways, and we're now seeing the estimated ROI start going up again. So this estimated ROI is basically a ratio between Plasm and eShare, and it really shows, if everything were to stay the same price in 77 days, you would get a 70% or 78% ROI, which is insane. I mean, that is a daily return of 1%. I mean, everybody says, Ponzi's and, all this other baloney that you can't verify or nothing's on chain. They go crazy over 1% a day. Um, and that's with the risk of getting rugged at any minute. So this ROI calculator is insane. It's not APR, it's actual ROI on the 77 days. So that is again a sign that we're starting to recover. And the other sign is that as we recover, the creation or staking costs get less as well. And again, I'll show all this in 1 second on the chart. But while I'm here, like Ella said, I wanted to highlight um, the treasury. So again, there's over 10K now with bonds going nuts. The yield on bonds going nuts. We're at about $1,000 a day in buy and burn, feeding this contract. So again, this number will go down, but it will never go to zero because it's always being refilled. And this number, again, even at ETH under 2K, all the alts getting obliterated, we still have 300 grand in the vaults. And again, this is bonds, and this number again will, in theory, never go down. The dollar value will go down as we've been seeing. I think the all-time high of this was like 500K, but that was when ETH was, 23, 24, 100. But anyway, the whole point is that this is ultra, ultra sustainable. And if you come down here, so we've already burned 18% of the entire supply in 100 what is that, 130 days, something like that, 35 days. So as you can see, 1.2 million plasm burned. That's over, well over even 1% of the entire supply that comes out over, the next 20 years. And we did the math too in plasm. Another cool metric we did. If you factor in, you know, the unlocks of Plasm and, the burning rate, even at today, burning, in theory, the burn rate should only increase as the yield and the treasury increases. But if you did all the math based on today, a 1% ownership of Plasm is only about 600,000 tokens. And again, why that matters is it's a fixed supply, and people that are more focused on accumulating Plasm, they are in control of their own destiny, because when the buy and burn continues and will eventually grow, you can sell into that without really hurting the chart. And again, the proof is here. You know, $72,000 has been used from the yield of to fuel the buy and burn. That's 72 grand of no new users, no Podsonomics, just literally money that's being produced to buy and burn forever. And so again, the numbers don't lie. We're up to 8,200 bonds, and again, the ETH value is down now a little bit, but earlier this week, it was about 180 ETH that was in the vault. And again, that number will fluctuate based on the price of ETH and the price of all the LPs that we have exposure to. But it is a digital backing. So, again, if you do the numbers, again, it might be a little lower today, but if we were to liquidate uh, all the LPs or all the bonds, right this moment, and then pay that money to all the Plasm holders, or use that to buy off the market, it would put Plasm at about 7 cents as opposed to 3 cents. So it's everything that you would ever want in a crypto project. Real yield, burning, constant buying and burning, constant adding of liquidity, and real digital assets that back the token price. So it really is spectacular, and I think people are still just so either overwhelmed or just PTSD about these sort of protocols, but we have built something so different and so much better with Plasm. So if you haven't participated, I definitely encourage you to look. There's a ton of great videos. We've done multiple deep dives into all this, but if you are brand new, it's super easy. You go to earn, and then you go right over here to easy mode. You have ETH on base. So make sure that you click either ETH or USDC. Again, this is if you're brand new and don't have Plasm. And then enter the amount of ETH you have. And we always recommend 77 days because that will earn you the most multiplier. So, and one last point too, before I jump over to bonds, we've had some incredible AI videos created with our good friend CK. Shout out to CK. The AI is learning Plasm more and more every day, and it is literally a Plasm expert. And the videos that he's been putting out are so powerful. So if you do have any questions or concerns with Plasm, there's a whole playlist now on I believe it's again we'll post the links, but you can get them in Telegram or Discord too. But I would say watch that whole playlist, and you will be as bullish as ever on the way Plasm has been built and structured. So, all right, is that all with Plasm, LA? I was going to jump.
No.
All right, go ahead.
I just wanted you to go to the stats page because that's what absolutely blew me away earlier when I was checking in on it.
For sure. Yeah, so go ahead.
Look at that 18% burned now, which is just absolutely wild.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, how many other protocols can say they've bought and burned 72 grand of the token and literally 18% of the circulating supply? And those are again, those aren't made up numbers. And the distribution is just amazing. I mean, you got 20% roughly in LP. You have about 2.5 million uh, 37% staked, and only 25% of Plasm is liquid. So, 1.7 million Plasm that's just even able to be sold. So, all of those things are really, really important.
Some very powerful stats right there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, awesome. Anything else?
No,
All right, are
let's
we
move
ready
on
for?
to bonds.
Yeah, no doubt. So we're gonna get to the
Oh,
star
oh,
of the
oh, oh,
show.
wait, 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 wait.
Oh,
Before
all
we
right.
do that, you have a brand new graphic for Plasm that you featured in the Telegram group this week. That
I
was really
do.
badass.
Yes, let me pull that up. Give me one sec here. Yeah, bear with me here one sec. But yeah, I want to show this. It is really great for those that are not familiar, and it's worth going over. So hang on one sec.
Yeah, I thought it was really well made.
Yeah, I just gotta upload it real quick. Been all right. Here we go. It is right here. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. I'm happy to post it again in our Telegram and all that, but it really shows, again, we just looked at all the numbers, but it's hard to visualize how it all breaks down. And so this is really important to show, um, what is happening. So eShare, again, is treated a little bit different. The eShare does go directly into the yield distribution engine. We don't sell eShare to buy bonds because that would be net negative on the price of eShare. So eShare is just used as is, and because the Plasm and eShare ratio is oh, and then I want to show the chart too. Remind me that 1 second. So the eShare ratio, you can just buy Plasm with eShare, and that doesn't actually hurt the price of eShare. And vice versa. So the eShare goes right into the yield distribution. Um, and then again, the USDC that bonds earn goes into the yield distribution. And then it goes as a breakdown as follows. So 65% goes to the buy and burn. We actually turned that up this week again. That's what fuels the pools. So just think of each of these as a separate pool. And when I say 10%, we're utilizing 10% of that 65%. So it's always being refilled. And again, because we're only using 10%, it can never go to zero. And that's why it's so sustainable. But so we turn that up. Now we're burning even more Plasm, which is great. 28% goes to buy and build. This actually buys eShare and Plasm and creates LP. So we're always deepening liquidity. 5% is Genesis, which is essentially the development fund. Again, we only take our fee from uh, the yield. So we're not taking it from principal. And then again, the affiliate as well. And that's an ETH only. And that does come out of the fees, but we can do that because the yield makes up for it. So any affiliate that is connected to real yield doesn't hurt the protocol overall. So does that help explain, LA?
Absolutely. I think this is really powerful.
All right, killer. Yeah, I know a lot of people are more visual learners, so hopefully that helps you visualize the flow of everything. So, all right, let me show the chart real quick, and then we'll go to bonds. Hang on one sec. All right, so I did just want to highlight one more thing, and any of you can do this as well. If you go to the Plasm eShare chart, again, base Uniswap B3, and go up here, and instead of hitting USDC, oh, hang on. All right, so this part right here, it will default to USDC. Just click on eShare instead. Man, my mouse is all over the place. Hang on. All right, so you click on eShare instead, and what we see is a very interesting chart. So, the whole idea is that with the buy and burn, we're always pushing up the eShare Plazm ratio, and as you can see, we were at a sideways range for a long time from early or late 2005 into 2006. Then we had another kind of leg down. But as of like about a week ago, or a little more now, 2 weeks, we really have found a bottom. And so what we're seeing is this trend is the buy and burn at work. So in theory, this is kind of the floor price, so to speak, where in terms of the ratio, where we should start seeing this gradually go up and to the right now. And what that means is we're getting back to a healthy eShare to Plasm ratio, where again creation costs and staking costs go down, and ROI goes up. And as we continue this roll, eventually, again, it may take a while, but eventually we get back to the equilibrium where it then becomes more profitable to create rather than stake. And so when that happens, then we have even more ETH going into bonds. So again, the system is designed so well that we're able to really um, continue to feed the treasury in a sustainable way while also helping to protect, the health of the protocol. And we have said from day one. Again, I think a lot of people were frustrated that got in on day one, and now they are having unlocks come, and they're not in profit. Again, this was never a single cycle play, and if you look at all the old videos, all the posts in Telegram, we've said from day one that it's about accumulation. So the only people that really seem to be upset with Plasm were ones that wanted to just get in and get out. But those that have a 3-4 cycle mindset are going to win in this whole protocol. And again, the videos from CK do an incredible job showing the math behind that, because the whole idea is you're able to earn more plasm than you can just buy on the market. So it really compounds. All right, so that was really just what I want to highlight. Anything else, LA?
No, I think we can move on to bonds.
All right, awesome. So let's get over to bonds.
And the exciting thing is, as we've been on this AMA, I've seen the bonds APR steadily climb and
Yeah.
climb.
Right, no, it's insane. I posted something in the DexFi chat. I said, the APR keeps going up. Can the devs do something? Because yeah, everybody's always flooding with the APR going down. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. The bonds have been the star of the show this week, and let's go into that. So we have
Yes.
updated a lot of things with the bonds. The reason that we're seeing such an incredible APR. Let me refresh to one more time. So the reason that we're seeing such an incredible APR is we had been DCAing literally for about 9 months on a token called Banker, BNKR. It is an AI play on base, and we have exposure. If you click here, we can see we have exposure to a lot of alt tokens, and sometimes that's a criticism of bonds. But you have to realize that alts are different to shit tokens. So even if we are in an alt token, um, any of the alt tokens are either real yield or some sort of revenue generating protocol. So if it isn't, then we very rarely get involved. So Banker, for those that don't know, again, just the TLDR, it's essentially a way that AI agents or anybody for that matter can launch tokens on Base, and you do it with just a prompt, and it creates the token, and you don't have to have any coding knowledge at all. And uh, Coinbase has actually started to uh, incorporate it into their creator tokens. The underlying tech is with Banker, and so we've been DCAing the whole time on Banker, and then about a week ago, with this open claw and all the AI agents utilizing crypto and creating their own tokens, it absolutely skyrocketed. So Banker did about $20 million in one day on volume, and the price did a 5x. So having the exposure to alts that we like, we have days like and weeks like what we've seen where that is able to carry the fund in terms of yield because we get fees from that $20 million of volume. So that was a great play. But overall, almost all the tokens that we have exposure to on base have really started to ramp up volume. And volume is what matters. As long as there's a lot of trading volume, we get paid from the LP fees. So that is really has what has really allowed the API to be so incredible. And we again, the numbers don't lie. So we on $1 million fund value now over the last 24 hours, $7,000 was compounded. So that is what part of the yield that goes into protecting the bond price. And again, remember that the bonds are all settled in ETH. So the actual ETH value is what you want to focus on. And this number really has never been below 0.02, even with the market nuking. And the only reason that bonds are crazy $36 is because ETH is down. Again, if ETH was back where it was, this would be like 60 bucks, in terms of actual dollar value. And we did some other cool math. Um, if we're able to recover the actual mint price on day one of bonds, the fund value will be at $10 million. So that again shows that all of this scales both ways. Obviously, right now it sucks because it's going down and scaling the wrong direction, but a quick recovery, and when we finally do see a bottom, the fund value should also and bond price should also increase. But that being said, as the price goes down, the APR gets better and better and better. So we've already compounded 7,000, and then the daily payout was 8,000. So these numbers are separate. It doesn't mean that we compounded 7,000 out of the 8,000. It's separate. So that means that we have generated over the last 24 hours on $1 million of capital. We've generated roughly $17,000 of yield in one day. So that just shows how powerful these bonds can be. And obviously, APR will fluctuate. It'll come back down, but and maybe it won't. I don't know. I mean, again, it just depends on the volume. But we can say the average APR over the last 9 months has been around 55%. And even if you bought bonds on day one when it was 0.01 ETH, number one, if you had that ETH in your wallet, you would still be down about 50%, and you would have not earned yield for that whole 9 months. So even if you bought at the top, because of the yield and compounding, your P&L would actually be less, or more rather, than just holding Ethereum. So all of those things are really cool when you really zoom out and look at the big picture. So Ellie, I have a few more points, but I was going to pause there. Do you want to go over anything or elaborate?
How about you finish your points, and then if I feel like you missed anything, I will chime in.
Perfect. Okay, so again, anybody can come and mint bonds. And then one more announcement. So let me go to the bottom here. All right, so we do now have an affiliate program. So again, people hear affiliate and they get turned off, but hear me out. So this is essentially an automated version of our white label service. So as a lot of you know, we've done white labels for a few protocols now. Um, some were more successful than others, but the white labels were basically having to manage an entirely new fund every time. And so obviously it's hard to scale with that. You know, there's so many hours in the day. We have development and dev time and expenses. So what we did is we basically have converted um, and will be converting all the white labels and offering anybody the opportunity to get in with the same percentage split as any white label would have been. So, for those that don't know, it's a 70-30 split on yield. All of that doesn't affect the payouts at all. So what you see here already has this factored in. So these numbers are conservative and already account for that. So the point is that the 30% goes to of yield, again, only of yield, goes to us for managing. When I mean us, I mean Fusion and the mothership and GDEX. So what is happening now is that 30% is not going to Fusion or GDEX. We're having to pay off the debt that we had from our original exploit, and so that alone, though, we're already about a little under half of the debt has already been paid off. And so when that happens, that's when the revenue streams for both GDEX and Fusion will explode. But in the meantime, anybody bringing in new TVL under the affiliate link, they get a percentage of that 30% that we do. So right now it's about 15%. And again, every time you bring in more TVL, you get a portion of that yield. So just to put numbers on that, you know, if you or one of your protocols is able to bring in another 100K of TVL, you're earning roughly $1,000 a month residual from that. So it's really, really lucrative for everybody involved, and it's great for us because it brings more TVL. Even though we're giving away a bigger split, what matters is the overall TVL and getting that debt paid faster. So it's not retroactive either. So if you already have bonds, you won't be able to apply, a code. It's mainly to target people outside of our community to really help us scale moving forward. So does that make sense, LA? I don't know if there's anything I left out, but
It completely makes sense. And I think people are really excited about this program, especially since the APR is really juicy right now and people are down with the market being down. And this kind of leads us into a point that I really wanted you to go over, AJ. And that
for
is,
sure.
and this is something I'd love for you to all kind of turn up the volume on your ears right now, because if you are planning on joining the affiliate program, this is the way in which it would be wise to explain it to your circle that you're chatting to about this. But right now is like this very prime time to actually enter bonds for two reasons. One, the obvious, the APR is really juicy right now. And so it's a great time to get in yourself, stack up yourself, or to use your referral bonus to get others in. But the other side of the coin is that bonds are this very unique creature where you have the ability to earn not only from the APR, but also from future appreciation. And with the entry price so low right now, it is an incredible opportunity for future appreciation and APR immediately right now. And so it's this incredible short-term and long-term play all at the same time. And if you believe the market is, for the most part, going to go up from here, then this entry point is incredible. Of course, literally none of this is financial advice for you or your followers. But AJ, I'd love to kind of go in more depth on this like two-pronged approach and the way that you're able to win in two ways with bonds.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, I think this is a perfect, opportunity again, and that's just not marketing, lingo. This is like just based on the numbers, right? So yeah, I mean, this has been an all-time low in terms of bond price, and that is just because again, the market has been absolutely nuking. But again, it's all settled in ETH. So to LA's point, just don't even look at the yield for a second and just look at the bond price. So as say you buy today, well now as ETH recovers, even if the ETH ratio stays the same, you're now up on your fiat value. So the dollar value goes up. And the theory is that because of this daily compounding, again helping to continually raise the price of bonds, you're also now again getting your principal balance to increase. So, just like any other, mutual fund or anything else, I mean, you're just hoping that the principal balance grows 10% a year, and doesn't go down. But like Ellis said, timing wise, I would really, I would say the odds of that happening are way better now than they were. So again, not financial advice, but I think that we could see that. And again, ETH, if we do have an actual rally, back to 4,000 or even 3,500, whatever it ends up being, um, then both the ETH value and the dollar value go up. So that is really important. But on top of that, you're earning yield every single second of every day. This is paid out at every block time. And what you're seeing, this APR right here, is the true APR based on their current bond price. So we never have a bait and switch where the APR doesn't reflect their current bond price. However, and again, we have to do it this way because we can't index every individual's wallet and show their individual APR. It would just be way too much math, way too much back end, and just not feasible. So we show the overall APR, and what that means is, again, if you're buying at today's prices, if the bond price doubles, but this APR current APR goes down by half, you're still earning on the original principal amount. So, and vice versa. If you were in early and have been buying bonds and your mint price is higher than what's displayed, then your true APR may be a little bit less than what you're seeing. But the whole idea, and again, I think this is where LA was going with all this is a yield engine that if you are responsible in even just a 50-50 strategy where you take 50% of the yield and keep it for bills or whatever or other projects, and then do a compound on the other 50%, this becomes again the power of compound interest. This just becomes an absolute monster. And it will lower your cost basis on bonds. It will give you a better position at the bottom, and you'll be earning yield the entire time. So if you're not utilizing bonds as kind of the backbone of your portfolio, then you're really missing out. And we do it. I mean, we put our money where our mouth is. The EMP Treasury, the DexFi Treasury, all of us, we use bonds in our own protocols to to feed in this manner. So again, it's just really the pinnacle of DeFi, what we've all hoped for. So
Love
uh,
it. And so if you want to get involved in the referral program, I put the link in the chat and you just scroll to the bottom to get your referral link.
yep, totally. So just to go. So if you are wanting to refer somebody, again, you would just connect your wallet. You get your referral link that they can go to directly, or just use the code. And then uh, when your new buyer or your referee buys it, if they click the link, it will automatically put the code here. Or if you just want to be double sure, you just put the code, hit apply, and then buy your first bond. So again, it has to be a new user to the ecosystem. It won't apply to existing bonds. So you have to have a new wallet or again refer someone new, and then all your dashboard right here it'll show the total earned, the total referrals, the active referrals, and how much money they have all brought in. And then there'll be another stat screen right here. And then every Thursday, when we top up the epoch for the distribution, you can claim your affiliate. So again, the affiliate commission isn't minute by minute like yield is, but every Thursday you can claim the lump sum for the past week. So, all right, awesome, cool. I think that covers everything, and a whopping $882,000 paid out in 9 months. I mean, it's just
Incredible.
incredible. Yeah. So, yeah.
And just a big cheers to one of the best weeks we've ever had inside bonds. So
Yeah, no doubt. I know I was talking to LA earlier. I think maybe there was 1 week early on that might have been higher, but this was the best week. I think, yeah, or at least the top two ever. And again, it could come down tomorrow. That 175% APR will fluctuate. And we're gonna add the average APR too. That's another update that we're pushing with this. So you'll be able to see the historical APR, and that's definitely maybe a more realistic number. But right now, this is the real number. And if we continue to see the volume, this will be 175% again next week. So, regardless of the bear or bull, as long as there's volume, we're winning for sure. So, okay, awesome. Anything else about bonds?
mm-mm.
All right. All right. So wow, we got, and shout out to all of you. Holy cow. Our viewer count skyrocketed. We have about 120 people on now. So, hello to all
Amazing.
the new users. So, yeah, totally. Our new viewers. So, all right, LA, what do we want to go over next? Sorry.
There's a couple partner projects we're going to highlight.
Yes. So before we get into Q&A, again, I know we're going on an hour here, so we appreciate all you guys hanging out. And if you do have questions, please feel free to type in the chats. We'll get to it in a second. But all right. So two partner programs I want to highlight, and one of those is in the comments as well. We'll leave the best for last. How about that? So all right, let me pull this up. All right, bear with me here. So the first new partner protocol is all right, here it is, FortuneFi. So I think a lot of you may have heard me allude to this. It is finally live, and it is a subsidiary under Bernard Bonds, which is one of our other affiliate programs. But it's essentially a on-chain, fully transparent uh, jackpot protocol. So rather than a $2 ticket going to the winners, the $2 ticket goes to buy more bonds, and then the yield is compounded 50% to payouts on the weekly and monthly side, and then 50% back into growing the jackpot. So very similarly to Plazm, where we're utilizing the yield to pay for prizes and growth without ever having to touch the principal. This protocol does that. So it's really cool. A ticket is only $2. Let me go to the actual app to show you. Hang on. All right, so this is the actual app itself. Again, all on base. And you can come over here. You can pay in ETH or uh, USDC, depending on what you have. You go down here, you select how many tickets, and then you can either pick the numbers yourself, or you can go to a quick pick and it will pick it for you. So hit this, and then again, 1 ticket, 2 tickets, uh, up to 50 is the max at one time. And then this works just like any other jackpot system. You have to match all numbers and the magic number to win. So the odds are pretty crazy, like 1 in 300 million. But that is to win the main jackpot. So this number up here, if somebody does win the jackpot, this number would be liquidated, and all of you that are in Bernard bonds would get 10% bonus from this. Again, remember when we redeem bonds, it goes to everybody that's still in the fund, and it's paid out. So again, at only $700, that's not as attractive. But what is attractive is the weekly. So as long as you buy one $2 ticket, you have about a 1 in 100 chance of winning the side pots. So right now there's $100 in the weekly draw, and again we've had multiple people win the side pots last week. They turned $2 into $10, and although that doesn't sound crazy, that's a 5x. So if you're spending $2 on, a meme token, this is arguably much better odds. So, and again, all the side pots, all the whale pots will grow without any new users as well. So a few months from now, we're talking thousands of dollars in prizes and potential growth. So we could do a whole AMA on this. There's a lot of great videos that have already been made. And if you want to go into and really do a deep dive on FortuneFi, make sure you join Degenerate Passive Income. We do a YouTube AMA for all of our joint ventures on Tuesdays. So we'll post that in the link as well. But again, the TBL helps DexFi and Bernard bonds, and it's a cool way to earn with a real traditional jackpot structure. So that makes sense, LA?
Yes.
All right,
Exciting.
awesome. All right, so up next is, we'll save the best for last, LSteak. So all right, so again, our very own Grover, he's in the chat tonight as well if you have other questions. But LSteak is getting closer and closer. So LSteak is, although it's Grover's protocol, it is under the EMP DexFi umbrella, part of our mothership. But it is essentially a liquid staking token, which again, I'll try to keep it as non-tech as I can. It essentially means that just like with Plazm, you have actual assets that are backing the token price. And not only is it bonds, but it's also other assets. I think silver, gold, and even some stables. So it's basically just a way that you can get really mathematically stable price appreciation through yield and a long-term, no emissions setup. So it's really cool. Again, the math is great. You can read the white paper. They are still taking um, pre-sale contributions. So it's raised about 75 grand right now, a little bit more actually because of an early investor. But the next milestone is 125K, and all you do is send USDC to this wallet right here. Again, no smart contracts. In full disclosure, I have control under multi-sig of this wallet, so it can't be rugged. No funny business. And we're hoping to launch, um, I think within the next month or so. So again, the same build team, BTT, Scott, build the tech. Uh, they're the same development team behind Plazm and FortuneFi and a lot of others other than DexFi products. They are building this as well. So, and last but not least, after LSteak is out and launched, we'll also have what we're calling liquid staking as a service. So, LSAS, and the first two protocols will be Plazm and eSHARE. So they will essentially be applying this liquid staking model to eShare and Plazm, and this is a great way to potentially earn, with price appreciation, either of those while you're holding it. So again, if you're just want to hold eShare for it to go up, you can stake it in LSteak partner program and earn again from part of the yield. So and same with Plazm. If you can't afford to go and pay their contribution costs and you don't want to sell part of your Plazm to do so, you'll be able to go into here. So there's a lot of really cool side benefits for all that. And the more that is staked, that is the less that can be sold. And that will hopefully allow more price appreciation on eShare and Plazm. So, all right, man, LA, I think we covered
Exciting
it
stuff.
all. Yeah, yeah, for
Okay, there's
sure.
two more things that I want to go over before we jump into questions. The first one is we actually sent out an email today to everyone. And if you're on our email list, this was actually the final email as we've decided to streamline a lot of our behind the scenes operations. And so we're no longer going to be sending out emails or doing any kind of support in our email inbox. I know a few of you will be disappointed about that, but we are really trying to streamline everything behind the scenes so that AJ and I can be as productive and effective as possible with continuing to build these projects. And so in the email, we have provided the links to our Telegram and Discord pages. I also, on our Discord server in the announcements today, put up a detailed instructions of how to actually open a support ticket on Discord. I know the reason that a lot of people are afraid to join Discord or Telegram is they're afraid to be scammed. And we're going to go into some safety protocols right after this. But if you follow those instructions to a T on how to open a support ticket on our Discord service, there's really no way to be scammed because only AJ, myself, and Stinky Beans have access to support tickets. Now, if you click on something random in the chat that someone joins the server and then puts a fake link to the support tickets and you click on it from the main chat, then yes, things could go awry. But if you follow the instructions that I've put in the announcements on how to actually open a support ticket, you're only going to get one of three people, AJ, myself, or Stinky Beans, answering your ticket, and you're going to get one-on-one support. And so there's detailed instructions with photos and everything in the announcements right now. If you are choosing to use Telegram, We're not going to be providing support through DMs because it's just too risky. There's too many people impersonating us and all that kind of stuff. We don't provide support in DMs. We really do prefer, if you need one-on-one support, to do it through Discord tickets. Huge shout out to Stinky Beans because he's such an incredible help and huge part of what keeps us running. True champion right there. And he has been very good at helping out with all of the Discord tickets. And so, yeah, I hope you're not too disappointed, but we're not going to be doing anything in email moving forwards. We've got our weekly AMAs where you're more than welcome to come here and ask any questions. And then if you do need the one-on-one support, I highly recommend opening a Discord ticket. And if it's more of a general question, you're welcome to leave it in the main chat, either on Telegram or Discord, and leave it up to the community to help you. But you are susceptible to potentially getting random DMs from weirdos if you do it that way.
Yeah, no doubt. So again, I think you covered a lot of it, LA. Just to kind of follow up on that, we had three, not one, not two, but three people get hacked within the last week. And it's devastating to not only the people that it affects, but the protocol, because 9 times out of 10, the hackers end up dumping the assets. So it directly impacts the price of eShare, of Plazm, of all the assets that have liquidity, and it just really it's so terrible all the way around. And the only way to really combat that is through you, again, the user, uh, knowing what you're doing and really taking full responsibility in protecting yourself. So, we preach every single AMA for 4 years now. Get a hardware wallet, a ledger, or uh, any hardware wallet. Again, go directly to the website. Don't buy one on eBay or even Amazon, really. And protect yourself that way. If it sounds too good to be true, or if somebody is messaging you, directly, that is 100% a scam. One of the issues today was a Stinky Beans. Again, anybody in Telegram or Discord can copy the display name. So, LA, me, anybody, they can impersonate any of us. So what you want to look at is the actual @ sign, username, which is the underlying actual username. You can look at it in Discord and on Telegram under any user profile, and it's easy to tell if you pay attention. So this person, again, Stinky Beans, the actual username was Sticky Beans. So again, you can easily tell that it's a fake. You just have to pay attention. Um, Again, no responding DMs, and under any circumstances, even if you see my face on an AMA, which you never will, but I'm just trying to prove a point here. Do not give your seed phrase to anybody ever. And there is no, a support website. So do not go to a website and put in your seed phrase. Again, it sounds common sense, but sometimes it takes getting scammed to learn that lesson, and we're trying to help everybody avoid that. So never ever give a seed phrase. Never connect to any website that we don't have pinned or publicly discuss. And there is no external customer service on crypto. It will only be through our Discord. So yeah, Ellie, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
I just want to give a couple more tips on how to properly identify the real us, whether it be AJ, myself, or Stinky Beans. So on both Telegram and Discord, we are labeled. And so on Telegram, you will see in the top right corner of any of our chat boxes, it'll say in light gray writing, it'll say team member, admin, or in some cases, it even says like EMP army member or something like that. But true admins are always labeled on Telegram in the top right corner of their chat bubbles. Now, the best way, if you need to reach out to AJ or myself, is to click on a past pinned announcement and then click directly on our name or picture from there,
Totally.
because only we can pin messages. Like a scammer can't randomly come in, make a fake profile, and then pin a message. It's not possible. So if you need to find one of us or you need to find out if it is us, go directly that way. Now on Discord, if you click on our profile, there's going to be these different labels. And so let me just give an example. Let me go on here right now and show you what it might say. Let me click on, let me go to the main chat here and click on Stinky Beans. So Stinky Beans has a number, they're called roles, but you'll see them in different colors if you click on the person's name. First of all, it'll show you when they joined our server. And so Stinky Beans, the real one, joined our server December 2nd, 2022. And so I guarantee you the fake one has joined it this year or even possibly today.
For sure.
So that's the first way to know. But the first thing it says under his roles are admin and mod. So you know that's the real Stinky Beans. And so you have to be very careful and do your due diligence when you're a part of a crypto project. But if you are someone who has no interest in being involved in the main chat at all, and you're not wanting to chit chat, and you are only using our Discord to get help in support tickets, there's literally no way you can be scammed that way. You just go to the announcements that I posted today, follow the instructions on how to open a support ticket, and we're the only ones who can access that. And so highly recommend you do it that way. But just know, like AJ said, we're never going to ask for your seed phrase. If you offered it up, we would absolutely refuse to listen to you providing it. We would say, please don't share it.
For sure.
And we are absolutely never going to get you to click on some random external website and connect your wallet. What we do need in a support ticket is an actual detailed description of your question or concern. We will need your wallet address, and we may ask you for a screenshot of whatever it is that's going on. But we do not require any private information. All of that is public information that we would need to actually help you with your concern.
Yeah, perfect, LA. Again, I think that's a great high level overview of just the best practices to try to abide by. And that is one of the downsides to crypto. Obviously, what we were saying at the beginning of the show, there is no middleman. There is no you're in full control of your funds. You never have to rely on a bank to let you move your own money. But the other side of the coin is there is no help desk, and if you're going to do crypto, you have got to be very, very diligent in safety precautions. And two other quick updates, and then we can get into questions or anything else, LA. With security, I also never ever recommend doing crypto on your phone. Again, there's a way to do what's called a SIM swap, where scammers can actually have in with like AT&T or any of the service providers, and they can essentially lock you out of your own devices and then reset passwords so that they can get into your mobile wallets. I know many people that have been scammed that way. It was huge a few years ago. It's a little less common now, but that's a way. Just mobile crypto is a bad idea no matter what. And then last but not least, and again, I understand that it's an added expense, but if you have a portfolio more than $1,000, I would have a dedicated computer, um, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, to only do crypto on, because I think another attack vector is a shared family computer. If your kids download an app or a new game, a lot of time there's spyware in those apps, and they can get your seed phrase somehow, or just even keylog your passwords. So uh, no mobile, hardware wallet, and a dedicated crypto, computer is really a lot of great ways to protect yourself. So, all right. Anything else, LA?
Amazing. No, I think we should hop into some questions because we only have 15 minutes
Okay.
left.
Yeah,
Okay.
no doubt. We have our other AMA next. So to, tonight was a marathon, but happy to do it for our 4-year anniversary. Anniversary-Palooza. So,
Anniversary-Palooza. Yeah. Okay, so first question from A. Tracy. What's the intended future of eShare? Is it to eventually phase it out?
no, I mean, eShare is now the sole token of our ecosystem. So no, there would never be a plan to phase out eShare. The whole idea is that it's a value, a store of value through our ecosystem. So what I mean by that is all the Fusion rewards are given out in eShare, but the eShare has to be bought before it's distributed. So even if literally everybody sold the e-share they received, um, it would still not be a net negative to the price. And so over time as well, we're burning e-share. So every time we buy and burn e-share, the supply is less and less. And those two things alone will push the price of e-share up and up and up. So no, I mean, e-share is our only liquid token in the mothership right now in terms of Fusion. So, and really anything. I mean, again, Plazm helps eShare. LSteak will help eShare. I know a lot of other people are actually building more use case for eShare. Shout out to Coolsheet, working on a top secret project. So all of these things will help the price of eShare over time. So that's why when we say to accumulate, um, it's not financial advice, but it's knowing what will be built on top of what we're doing. The odds of eShare getting really expensive are pretty good. So,
Awesome. Next question. If I'm in easy mode on Plasm, what happens if I'm in for 77 days? What does easy mode do with my Plasm? Does it reinvest it automatically in the most valuable strategy or is it done manually?
yeah, so I'll try to be quick to run out of time. So, easy mode essentially just takes all the guesswork out of it. So, whether you're using Plasm or any other asset, so it will automatically choose whether creating or staking is the better, more profitable route. Right now, it's 100% staking and will be for a while, a long time, I'm sure, until the ratios get better. But uh, if you have fresh capital, then it will automatically buy the appropriate amount of Plasm and pay the contribution cost all in one go for you. So it really makes it, again, easy mode to do that. Now, if you are familiar with the protocol and you can always stake manually as well. But the other thing easy mode does is if you don't have any new capital, so again, you don't have ETH or eShare to pair or pay the contribution cost, it will sell some of your Plasm to cover that. Now, we're getting to a point right now where it almost doesn't make sense to do that. You just have to do the math on your own. It's always better to pair new capital because the whole idea is that you're earning on the Plasm that you have, and it's a compound effect where the more Plasm you have, the more Plasm it will yield. So just keep that in mind. And you can join our Plasm Telegram. There's a ton of people that will help you. Again, publicly, do not respond to DMs. Help you understand. So.
Okay, so next question. What would happen to Plasm if the number of people in it doubled from where it is today?
Ooh, I like this question. So, yeah, I mean, so I guess it would be what a better metric is what those people would deposit. 20 new people at $10 each may not move the needle that much, but 20 new people at $1,000 each would probably double the price of Plasm if they're new users because they have to buy Plasm to stake it, which is cool. I mean, again, that helps the ecosystem. Um, but we did some similar math earlier this week, and right now, even if you would just go buy Plasm on the market, um, you can buy a 1% holding in Plasm for about 25 grand, which again is a huge number. But the whole point is that you know uh, every dollar that goes into Plasm ends up being about $2 or $3, in future cycles, just because of the way the yield is through bonds. So yeah, that's a really cool question. And yeah, we don't need new users, but obviously, the more new users to Plasm, the quicker we grow, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Grover and LSteak. He says that the pre-launch investment closes in just over 7 days, and the launch is still looking like the first week of March.
Nice. Awesome. Thanks, Rover. Yeah. So again, shout out to him. He's in all of our chats. If you want to know more about LSteak and how to make sure you get credit and get involved, feel free to chat with him. So.
Okay, now I like this question. This is a great problem to have. Will the team grow in the future and you need to hire some salaried positions? Where will the funds come from to pay those individuals?
Yeah, it's a really great question. So again, we bootstrap everything, and obviously we still pay our devs. That's a hard cost. But the majority of people in the protocol work as a way to pump their own bags, or they have just been an incredible supporter from the get-go and love us and the community alike. So the short answer is, we get a lot done with the admins and the volunteers and the paid positions that we do pay. But we never sell our tokens to pay for protocol expenses. So again, this is something fundamentally different. Uh, I would beg you all to find another crypto protocol that will not admit that they fund their development or staff or even founders from selling their coin. I mean, Vitalik, again, this is a great example. Vitalik Buterin, the founder of ETH, sold about $2 million of ETH today alone. So all of these guys are selling their own tokens.
Crazy.
Yeah, totally to pay for their project or lifestyle. In our situation, there is a very, very small stipend for eShare, but again, we have to buy that eShare now because it's not inflationary. And all the expenses, all the development work, everything comes from the yield. So again, our treasury earning yield through bonds or the fee split on bonds, all the yield is what powers what we're doing, and it never is a net negative to our tokens. So hopefully that answers.
Mm-hmm. I can answer this next one. If LA and AJ are talking to random people, direct messaging them, don't they get a lot of scammers trying to contact them? Sometimes we get scammers trying to contact us, but the reason we're so adamant about providing support through Discord tickets as opposed to through DMs is just to protect everybody involved. And so if I get random DMs asking for help, I just simply refer them to opening a Discord ticket in order to just keep those boundaries in order to protect everyone. And so, no, we don't really get a lot of scammers messaging us, but what I do get a lot of is rando marketers, but they just all get blocked.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. You handled that one with ease. I thought you were going to let them have it. We whenever we launch a new protocol or do a deck screener listing, LA and I get literally 1,000 DMs, and it drives us absolutely insane. So they may not be scammers, although most of them probably are, about marketing proposals and everything else. So the DMs are a full-time job, right, LA? So
Yes. Okay, let's hop into this final question because we have 5 minutes before our next AMA. Maybe this
perfect.
is a DexFi question, but are you aware of a protocol called Titanium Finance investing their funds into DexFi? Do you know if they're using DexFi Vault or bonds?
Yeah, 100%. So thanks, Palio, for the shout out. So yeah, this is really cool. And what we said along the last couple of months, the next move for us is encouraging other protocols to use bonds as a yield engine for themselves, and that is really how we're going to scale. And that is our focus for 2026. But yeah, to answer your question, we're not affiliated with Titanium Finance in terms of development or a core team, but absolutely we're in touch with them on utilizing bonds as a way to help them generate yield for their they have an on-chain regulated hedge fund. So shout out to them. That is 100% legit. That they will be using bonds. Um, I don't think they've done it yet, so until they do, I can't comment on that. But we are in touch for sure. And one last thing, I know we got to run, but we had a great meeting today with another protocol. Again, I probably shouldn't say who it is, but we'll do a follow-up AMA that did put money into bonds today. So a lot of other protocols are starting to use um, bonds as a yield engine. And if you're in a meme token or another project, or you like the community, but uh, the tokenomics are not that great, please encourage these other communities to use bonds. I mean, it's a no-brainer, and with the new affiliate system, they get a cut of the yield as well. So hopefully, all of you will help us push that. It's a win-win for everybody. So, all right, LA, are we done? So, yeah.
Yes, I just want to reiterate what I said at the beginning. You all are such a pivotal part of this community. We appreciate and love you guys. And these 4 years, there's been a lot of ups and downs, but you guys have always been that shining light, that silver lining that has kept the protocol going and growing. And we're really excited to keep building and keep growing with all of you. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. I know we get all emotional and sentimental at the end of any AMA, but it's more so tonight on the 4-year anniversary. Again, I couldn't agree more. The community is what has kept us going. Why we get up every day and bust our asses to make this work, even when the market is so against us. We deserve a win, and we're gonna have that win. I mean, the infrastructure is here. It's only a matter of time, and we're gonna be building for the next 4 years and beyond. I have a lot more gray in my beard over these last 4 years, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. And thank you to all of you that do get it, and want to support as much as you can and support yourselves. I mean, again, we're all here to try to make money, and it's a way that we can together without being PvP or net negative to others. So all right, I think that'll do it. LA, much love to you on 4 years. It hasn't been from day one, but damn near close. And it's been a great journey with you as well, LA. So and shout out to all the mods, all the developers, everybody behind the scenes that makes it happen. And happy anniversary to all of you. So on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Remember, we come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Join us over on HVM. We're going to be running a little bit late for our next AMA, but we'll be there. So, all right, good night, good day. Much love. Bye bye, everyone.